Hello everyone.
Hello.
Well, many of you probably spent hours studying the language in a classroom. So did we when we were back in college, and so do our students still in college. Much as we appreciate the classroom as an educational setting, pretty successful most of the time, we do believe that it's pretty important to bring this learning experience out a little bit into the world of authenticity, where students will have this opportunity to interact with native speakers perhaps, well, just to go beyond the walled garden of academia.
Yeah, exactly. This is a very useful metaphor, walled garden. In the past, rich people used to build walled gardens to ensure the perfect growing conditions for their plants. And this is a little bit like education at the university. You create perfect conditions for students to learn, for the academic community to thrive. However, real life is perhaps not quite like the life between the walled garden of university. And sometimes we need to make sure that our students learn outside these walls in a real world.
Exactly. Well, how about we tell just a little bit about what we really do, how we really bring this learning experience out beyond the walled garden of academia. Perhaps this one?
In this project, I organized a study visit to Warwick University. During the trip, the students had an opportunity to participate in the classes, but also the students explored the towns they visited. They experienced the British life. They also experienced the weather conditions in the UK. Actually, 1 year during one of the study visits, we experienced the worst winter in 30 years' time.
Right. It's not surprising that you did take your students to England. Now, I know that you did take them to France. Now, maybe you can take a look at this one. We can explain why it's also important to take students to non-English
words, exactly. Right. So you may be wondering why France. It's not an English-speaking country. However, the tool of communication that students used was obviously English. They communicated in English with their peers, and the English became a tool for communication, and especially intercultural communication were in encounters with their French peers. But not only that, the students had an opportunity to practice their teaching skills, English language teaching skills, as their French partners were learners of French who needed support in terms of their linguistic skills.
Yeah, but teaching skills are not the only thing that you develop during these study visits. Now, I know that there's a lot of intercultural contact, including new foreign cuisine and perhaps some sport events, some other, probably hiking as well. Is that part of the experience?
Absolutely. If we take British history, then we could say that's inextricably connected with French history at many points. To understand the British, it's also worth trying to understand the French, as the two nations shared a great deal of their history. And this is also one of the reasons why we not only visited France, but also, as you said, explored the countryside, the city, and had an opportunity to participate in cultural events such as popular in the southern regions of France game of rugby, which, as we know, derives from the UK.
Right. Since exploring the language is best done through exploring the remote corners of the world, and that brings us to the next country that we took our students to, and this is Scotland. Yeah. And that's my experience, actually. We had this opportunity to bring students to Scotland in order to explore the relationship or ties between Poland and Scotland historically as well. Not many actually people know that Frédéric Chopin, a great romantic, was in Scotland for a couple of months. Yes. So they took part in these concerts where they read out poetry by Sir Walter Scott. Quite a challenge, for non-native speakers of English to do it in front of the native or Scottish audience, right? Definitely, and it took a long time to practice, to prepare phonetically for it. So see, taking students to these foreign countries does enrich them in terms of this intercultural contact, but also phonetically, also linguistically. I think it's just an amazing thing, and we do believe that really helps. It's something that our students will probably not forget for many years.
Yeah, there's even more than that. Language learning, or being a philology student, requires or calls for the development of communication skills as such. So these trips gave students plenty of opportunities to develop their interaction skills, interpersonal skills, and in many cases, because some of the communication took place via the computer technology, or they also had an opportunity to develop their digital skills, which, as we know these days, is very important.
Yeah, I also believe that when we teach someone in a classroom, we're actually doing it thinking or hoping that these classroom practices will prepare them for this genuine, authentic contact with the English outside, and this is actually what happens there. So we have this opportunity to observe how our students interact, probably pretty successfully, with native speakers, how they explore foreign non-standard varieties of English. In Scotland,
and communication with non-native speakers too.
Yeah, non-native speakers as well. But in Scotland, for example, you definitely know that they have this Glaswegian accent or Wishaw accent, which is so hard to understand, and our students had a lot of trouble in understanding. And the problem is that Scottish people don't have any trouble understanding our students. They're pretty good, but we do have a lot of trouble understanding their accent, their varieties of English. So that's really enriching for them as well, for us as well.
Yeah, so all in all, we believe that taking students or taking education beyond the walls, the garden walls of the university, is a really important experience for both teachers and students alike. The range of the different skills, competences that can be developed just beyond the garden wall of academia is really vast.
Yeah, the classroom is like the student's comfort zone, and sometimes it's the best idea just to do to learn to study language out of the comfort zone, where you really have to handle certain difficulties that you encounter while studying the language, while exploring, while encountering new things and new items, and how you use your pre-existing knowledge of the language in order to incorporate new elements. So that's really interesting, and we have this opportunity to see how successfully our students can do it in practice, and we constantly analyze their needs, therefore, and we can actually modify our approach to teaching later on back in the classroom.
Yeah, but after all, what we do within academia at university is prepare students for what is awaiting them outside the university buildings, or, using our metaphor, what is happening beyond the walled garden of academia.
So what are the perils of going beyond the walled garden of academia?
I think none.
None.
Oh, hang on, there might be some. Actually, some of the students might not be willing to get back from those places that they visit, Scotland, France, or any other place they visited.
And as a matter of fact, we know that our students do have to get back to the classroom because there are a lot of tests and exams waiting for them right there in their classroom. All kidding aside, I guess we all should go beyond the walled garden of academia. We should all cross the line. We should all step out of the comfort zone to explore the unknown and to learn what's really genuine and authentic. So I hope you will have this opportunity in the future to do so. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.